So that brings us to the very first rule. The very first rule for this test is long is wrong. Long is wrong. And this is the first rule because it is the most counterintuitive rule. It is the rule that you are the most likely to think the opposite is true. See, through all your years of schooling, you have not been learning that long is wrong. You've been learning that long is good. If you are assigned a 2 to 3 page paper, but you turn in 4 pages, you're going to get a better grade. If there's a minimum 250 word count on an assignment, but you turn in 300 words, you're going to get a better grade. And if you're doing show and tell in kindergarten, and little Johnny gives the 2-word answer, and little Susie gives the 22-word answer, who gets the pat on the head? Yeah, we start learning from a very young age that in the world of schooling, more is better. But that's the exact opposite of the truth. Brevity is the soul of wit. More is not better. And in fact, the longest answer choice is always the wrongest answer choice, and you can eliminate it immediately. See, the people who make the SAT have hacked you. They have hacked you. They have learned and studied you, and they know your vulnerabilities, and they know your weaknesses. And they know that most people have an unexamined belief that more. So they're going to give you plenty of opportunities to do more. But more isn't better. In fact, long is wrong. Let's take a look. Let's take a look right now. Take a look at page 2. Now I say omit needless words 3 times because there's 3 flavors of omit needless words, and the first of those is redundancy. Don't say the same thing twice. Oh, and be sure not to repeat yourself either. A friendly little message from the Department of Redundancy Department. Number 1, the pattern box observed in 2012 may repeat itself again with harmful effects on the Arctic ecosystem. Now there's a redundancy in there. There's a redundancy in there, and we're going to identify it. But before you even do that, see how one answer choice sticks out way farther than all the others? Yeah. You know what you do with that? Cross it out. It is wrong. That is never going to be the right answer. Long is wrong. Now, what they're actually testing you here is on the concept of redundancy. Redundancy means repeating yourself. Why is A wrong?
I think it's because it says may repeat itself again and again.
Yes.
Redundant.
What does it mean to repeat yourself?
To do it again.
To do it again. That is redundant. Everybody, what's the best answer for number 1? Shout it out.
B.
B. Oh, that I need to say this. Whenever I ask you for what the answer is, I only want one thing: a letter. Tell me the correct. Don't read me the answer choice that's correct. Give me the correct letter, B, or whatever the correct letter may happen to be. Number 2, the novelty of this comfortable work from home life, however, soon got worn off quickly. Was promptly worn off quickly? Even worse. What is the best answer for number 2? Shout it out.
D.
D, just war. All right, now you might be noticing something. Gosh, long is wrong, but really, maybe the rule is short is right. Is that the rule, that short is right? No, that is not the rule. The rule is long is wrong. And what that means is you can always get rid of the longest one. Now, often the shortest answer is the correct answer, but just because long is wrong does not mean that short is right. It usually is, but not always. Though the concept remained a local trend at first. International repair cafes, all affiliated with the Dutch Repair Cafe via its website, have since arisen in France, Germany, South Africa, the United States, and other countries. On top of that, all right, now hold on 1 second here. Take a look. This looks like a really long answer choice, but it's not a long answer choice. In fact, this is the shortest possible answer choice, because if we choose D, that means there is absolutely nothing there. You don't get any shorter than nothing. But what I really want to point out is an important feature here. Take a look at the answer choices. On top of that, in addition, likewise, this is one of their favorite things to do. One of their favorite things to do is to give you multiple answer choices that are interchangeable. One of their favorite things to do. And it's one of my favorite things to see. And you know why? Because of a very, very fundamental rule about this test. Let's talk about a really, really fundamental rule. I'm going to ask you a question right now. It's going to sound like a trick question. It is not a trick question. Okay, here's the question. Are you ready? How many correct answers are there for every question on the SAT? How many correct answers are there for every question on the SAT? How many?
One?
One! Could there ever be more than one correct answer?
No.
No! If there was, you would sue College Board's ass off! Are you kidding me? They can't get away with that crap. No, they test these, they vet these, they go through these so thoroughly. There's only one right answer. So stay with me now. Stay with me now. So if you're working some problem and you see that there are two answer choices that are interchangeable, what does that mean?
They're both wrong.
They're both wrong. Brady shoots, he scores. I love my Gonzaga guys. They are really good participators. Brady, do you know Harrison? You don't know Harrison?
What's the last name?
Maybe Dent? Gonzaga.
No.
Wow. You go to Gonzaga, right?
Yeah.
Wow, he's a year ahead of you. Maybe 2 or something. I don't know. No. Whatever. Moving along. If two answer choices are interchangeable, that means they are both wrong. Because if B was correct, C would have to be correct. And if C was correct, then B would have to be correct. But since there's only one right answer, that means they're both wrong. Well, guess what? On top of that means the same thing as in addition, only it's even a cornier way of saying it. No, for number 3, we're just going to delete. You have 60 seconds. I want you to try number 4, number 5 on your own. Go.
Mr. Silverman,
Yes, please.
for number 5, for example, if there are two answer choices that are both wrong, do you delete both?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
What are we looking at here? What are we looking at here, Stella? Which ones do you want to get rid of because it's way too long?
C and D.
Good. Get rid of those. Very, very good. Very, very good. Number 4. Each year, every year, per year? Well, if there are two answer choices that are interchangeable, we eliminate both, right? What if there are three answer choices that are all interchangeable? Then we eliminate
All of them.
Okay.
all of them. Get rid of them. Delete. Response to the advertisement was overwhelming, even tremendous. I think we've got it covered with overwhelming. Thank you very much. And number 5 is B. Turn a page. Second flavor of omit needless words is wordiness. Now look, you know this drill. You know this drill. You are you get assigned a minimum word count, right? And then you have to write this paper, and you said everything that you have to say, except guess what? You only have 220 words and you need to get to 250 words. So what do? You start adding a lot of BS extra words. Now that gets you the 100% on your assignment, but that is not better. That is not better English. It is worse. We call that wordiness. Wordiness simply means using a lot of words when a little bit of words would have been fine. Take a look. In 2010, at least 18.5 million ebooks were available for them to circulate. Yuck. In 2010, at least 18.5 million ebooks were available to be circulated by them? No, you're not getting paid by the word here, folks. You don't get extra money if you can squeeze extra words in. That makes it worse, not better. Were available for their circulating? Come on. How about for circulation? Try number 7, go. All right, which ones are we going to eliminate here automatically? It's way too long.
E.
B.
And C.
C, just way too long. We know those are not going to be right. $1.60 for every dollar they would have spent on food that is grown in a manner that is considered conventional? How about just conventionally grown? Okay, this is what we're looking for. We are not looking for more words. More words doesn't make it better, it makes it worse. But this is what you have to understand. You've been programmed. You've been brainwashed into thinking that more is better. And the people who make the SAT, they know this. So they know that if they give you answers that are long and complicated sounding, a part of you is going to be like, shit, I don't know, man. Long, like, complicated. That sounds like what smart people would say. That must be the right answer. No. That is not going to be the right answer. Not even remotely is that going to be the right answer. And I've got a really, really easy way to remember that fact. The fact that the really long one is never going to be the right answer. Do you know how we remember that? Here's how we remember that. We remember that from this. Long is wrong. Whatever the longest answer choice is, that's the wrongest answer choice. You will eliminate it immediately. You see, part of how I approach the test is that I focus really hard on psychology, okay? I focus really hard on psychology, the psychology of performance, because the SAT is not an assessment like your midterm in US history is. The SAT is a performance task. There's no corrections. You don't get half points back for corrections. There's no retakes, although you can take it again. You can't be like, gosh, you know, I missed number 7, 12, and 15. Do you think I could do those again so that I can get? No, this is the SAT. You got to get it right. Nothing else matters. All we care about is right answers. Okay. So the psychology of it is that when you are focused and concentrating at a very, very high level, that's when you're going to get right answers. And when you get right answers, that's going to make you feel good and confident. And my secret, the secret to success is this, is that your only access to a high level of concentration is through confidence. That's it. That's the only way you can actually concentrate. Now, confidence here doesn't mean arrogance or conceit. It means a complete and total absence of disbelief, a lack of doubt. It means that the little voice in your head, the little voice that's always commenting, the little voice that's always criticizing, the little voice that's saying, oh man, I hate this stuff. Why do we have to do this? Confidence means that little voice is finally shut up. Now you may be saying to yourself, what little voice? What little voice in my head that this guy's talking about? What is this wacko talking about? That's your little voice. Get it? Confidence is the key to all this. And the way that one of the important ways that I instill that confidence is I give you really simple, really memorable rules that work immediately. You don't need to go home and practice for 4 hours to make these work. They work right away. Because just like the SAT has hacked you, guess what? I've hacked the SAT. Yeah, it isn't hard. All you got to do is do every SAT problem that's ever been released. And once you do that, if you know what you're doing, you start to see patterns and tricks and tips. You start to see the weaknesses and the vulnerabilities in the test. Okay? And when you see those, now all of a sudden, now you've got some tools to put into your tool belt. And if you start accumulating enough of those tools, if I give you a critical mass of tips and tricks, what happens is you start getting things right. And then you start saying to yourself, this isn't so bad after all. And that's when you focus. And that's when the concentration really comes. Okay? Because that's the key. The key isn't that you sit there and you're, ooh, concentrate, I gotta concentrate so hard. Because if you try to concentrate, the only thing that you're thinking about is trying to concentrate. You're not concentrating on the task at hand. The only way to concentrate is to get out of your own head. And the only way to do that is to have confidence. The very first and one of the most powerful rules I've got for you is this: long is wrong. You can use that on every question on the English test. On the English section of the test, almost every question. Now, we got that one, right? 7D, right? Okay. So omit needless words, redundancy, wordiness. There's a third flavor of omit needless words, okay? And the third flavor is combining. And when your job is to combine, this time, the correct answer is always the shortest. Remember, the rule is not short is right. The rule is long is wrong, except for when we get to combining, because when we get to combining, the correct answer is always the shortest one. Number 8, which choice most effectively combines the sentences at the underlined portion? Well, I don't know. Which one's the shortest? Shout it out.
A.
Circle it. You don't even need to read the question. Number 9, which one's the shortest?
B.
E.
Circle it. All right, before we move on, any questions, comments, or concerns for me?